Hello again. In this video, we will start by displaying some text on our screen. To achieve this, we need to instruct our Flutter app to display a text widget right on the home screen of the Material app. Now notice that the home parameter here requires a widget. This widget will be the route of our app. But for now, let's choose a text widget to be displayed. Thanks to VS Code, the autocomplete feature, selecting this widget is a breeze. Let's see the parameters for the text widget. As you can see here, it primarily requires a string of text that you wish to display. You'll see that the text widget, like MaterialApp, uses named parameters extensively. When you hover over it in your code editor, you'll see numerous options available, enclosed in curly braces. Interestingly, Dart also allows positional parameters at the same time, which is here outside those curly braces. This is important because if you don't provide this required positional parameter, you'll face an error indicating that an argument is expected but not provided. For our example, let's input "Hello World." Why do we wrap our text in quotes? It's simple. Without quotes, Dart could misinterpret "hello" or "world" as keywords or identifiers, which they aren't. Using quotes makes it clear that this is plain text meant for display. Now that we've set up our text widget and passed it into the Material app, which in turn is managed by Run app, we've established the basic structure of our user interface. It's straightforward for now, but essential as our starting point. Now, let's run our first app and see it in action. To get started, launch your virtual emulator, which we created in the first section of this course. In VS Code, you can find the emulator by clicking on this icon here at the bottom. Then select your installed emulator. In my machine, it is Pixel 3a. The exact name might vary depending on how you've named and configured your emulator. If your emulator is set up, go ahead and run the application. You can do this by selecting Run without debugging, or by hitting the Run button in VS Code. You'll then see the Hello World text appear on your virtual device. It may seem simple at this stage, not yet stylish or particularly functional, but remember, this is just our foundation. We're poised to add more layers, increasing both complexity and functionality as we go. All right, so we've got our first screen output, a basic UI that, while not particularly beautiful or functional yet, marks an exciting beginning. Now, combining the Material app and text widgets and passing that combination to Run app got us here. But have you noticed those blue squiggly lines under some of our code in VS Code? These lines don't indicate an error, but suggest that there's room for improvement in our code. If you hover over these squiggly lines and scroll down in the info box, always check the bottom for messages, you'll see a recommendation to use const with the constructor to enhance performance. But what exactly does const mean? Well, const is a keyword in Dart, much like void and import, and it's used to optimize the runtime performance of your application. How does it do this? When you declare something as const, such as a text widget, it means this widget is stored in the device's memory. This happens regardless, but here's where const comes into play. If you use that same widget again elsewhere in your app, Dart reuses the already stored widget instead of creating a new one in memory. This reuse of memory objects prevents the duplication of data, making your app more memory efficient and enhancing performance. Using const means Dart can manage memory better by not allocating space for the same widget multiple times. So by simply adding const in front of MaterialApp like this, we can eliminate those blue squiggly lines and improve our app's performance. This is a small change, but it has significant benefits for the efficiency and speed of your app. Always remember to add const when it's recommended, as it helps optimize your application behind the scenes. Great! In our next video, we'll enhance the beauty of our UI by introducing a fundamental and essential widget, the scaffold. Stay tuned and continue this journey with us. Please remember, we're taking things slowly at the moment because we're covering the basics and theories behind Flutter and Dart. As we move forward, the pace will pick up considerably, so stay patient and keep going with us. We promise this will be a rewarding journey by the time we reach the end of this course.